Cutting thick afro hair can be one of the hardest challenges for barbers and hairdressers, especially if you're just starting out. Today I'm breaking it down step by step, showing you how to fade, line up and style afro hair using the brand new JRL Diamante Lamborghini clipper and trimmer set. If you've ever struggled with scissor work, clipper control or getting that natural wave finish, this tutorial is going to change the game for you. Stay locked in because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to take afro cuts to the next level. Here's a quick look at the JRL Diamantes boxed and unboxed. So this is the haircut we're going to be doing today. We're going to give him a quick freshen up that he really needs. As always, we're going to start by gowning up our client. So we're going to give him a quick consultation and have a look at the overall cut. You can see he's got a large scar behind the back of the ear where he's had his implant put in for his hearing aids. This is something we're going to have to consider when we're fading him up. You can see at the moment I'm picking the hair with an afro comb or an afro pick. This basically stretches out the curl and lifts it from the scalp. You can purchase an afro pick from any of your local hairdressing, barbering and beauty stores. This is a great way to stretch out the curl and lift it from the head. I really recommend getting one of these if you don't own one already. While I'm here, I'm going to shout out our recommended supplier, which is Barber Blades. You can use the discount code HOTHEADS10 for 10% discount. So picking up my big clipper from the clipper and trimmer set, I've put a number 3 guard on, and now we're going to run from the crown to the front of the hair. You do this the whole way across the head, making sure you're not leaving any long bits. This is a great tip to remember when cutting afro hair, running from the crown to the front to help preserve the natural curl. I've actually really enjoyed using these JRL Lamborghini clippers. They make the job really easy and they're great for cutting afro hair. If you do like these videos and you're enjoying the content that we're putting out here at Hotheads Media, please like, share and subscribe and join our community today. Subscribing to the channel will really help us continue putting out these great videos for our community to learn further, gain new tips and stay in tune with industry news. So as you can see now, I'm actually going from the front to the crown. This is something I don't advise until you really understand how the natural hair sits when cutting afro hair. If you stick to the advised method going from the crown to the front, I promise you'll find an overall better finish all round. Moving on to the side, we pick up our trimmers to put in our zero line. As indicated on the screen with the white line, our zero line will run directly in line with the bottom of the eyebrow, and this will help keep us symmetrical on both sides of the head using the natural features of the face. I'm now cleaning up the top of the beard as he likes it into a point, and now I'm going to clean up at the front of the ear and at the back of the ear using the JRL minis, which are making light work of taking this down to skin. One thing I suggest from many years of experience on the shop floor and teaching many students over the years is do everything you can with the tool you have in your hand, i.e. a clipper or trimmer. So I've just reduced all the hair under my skin line and now I'm going to outline with the same trimmer. This will reduce the overall time to cut this client's hair. As you can see, I'm using the outside of the mini trimmer or the edge to create a nice C shape. This is what I call face framing and it will really help the haircut stand out. Now here's a hot tip. Put both little fingers on each side of the head, make sure they're level in the mirror, and this will allow you to keep an even fade throughout the whole haircut. Now reaching for my foils, I'm using a circular motion to take down the hair as short as I can. Using a circular motion will really help reduce any hard lines. I do have a JRL set of foils that would have been awesome for this video, but when I put them down the other day, one of my stylists have used them and now I can't find them. So you've got to use what you've got to hand. Moving on, I've now grabbed the big clippers, pushed down on the lever to create a 0.5. Following the direction of my zero line that I first put in, I'm working across the head, flicking up about ½ an inch. This will give me enough room to blend the bottom line out. As you can see, I'm working across the head from the front to the back. I'm flicking out on the first line that I put in about ½ an inch. This will help give me a nice transition. Now we're on to the next step. I'm going to close my lever or go back down to a 0 on the big clipper. Starting at the bottom line, You're going to flick out about 1/4 of an inch. Make sure you really give it a good flick, as this will help a smooth transition and really help work out that darker bottom line. Continue to work out the bottom line until you don't see any more dark shadows and your 0 is blended into your 0.5. After completing this step, I'm now going to put my number 1 guard on. One thing I will say about these guards from JRL in this new set is they're really well made. I can really flex with these new guards. In the same way we flicked up our 0.5, I'm going to use the same motion and flick up about 1/2 an inch. This again will give us another smooth transition and enough room to blend into. I'm having to be especially careful around my client's scar so I don't catch it. Now reaching for my 0.5 guard, which in all honesty is one of the best 0.5 guards I've ever used. I can't work it out whether it's the teeth, the plastic or what. I just highly recommend this 0.5 guard. So what we're doing now, as you can tell on the video, is working out that bottom line. I'm going to use the corner of my clipper to work out any dark areas, as this tends to be a bit of a tricky area. You can see the hair is built up around the scar, so using this technique will really help reduce the weight around this area. This is a perfect technique to use while doing afro hair. Moving on to some clipper over comb, we're following the direction of the white line. This is a really important part of fading afro hair, as it's going to reduce the weight at the side of the head and help a smooth transition into the top of the hair. Choosing the right comb when doing clipper over comb technique is really beneficial. Start with a bigger comb and go smaller as you need to refine further. Onto another technique perfect for blending afro hair is using the thinner scissors with scissor over comb technique. I've used a smaller comb here as I want to refine a little further and be a little bit more detailed. I've now ditched the comb and the scissor over comb technique, and I'm point cutting with my thinning scissors. The blade with the teeth on is rested on the side of the head while you close the scissor in certain areas. As this only picks up a limited amount of hair, this will reduce the dark spots that you can see throughout the fade. I'm now cleaning up my client's scar. This is something we talk about in the consultation period and how we like to show it off rather than hide his scar. This is looking great so far using the techniques shown in this video. If you do like the content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Currently we're gaining traction fast and we want you to become part of our community. Look at all the videos we put out. It's educational, informative, and we're here for you. You can find us on all the main socials at Hotheads Media. Now we're going to a different angle and we're going to show you the other side of the head. What I would normally do is do the 0 line, the 0.5 line and the 1 all at the same time. But for video purposes, I wanted to do one side of the head first and then do the other side. It's more self-explanatory and it's easier to see that the same process is used on each side. Everybody is different on how they want to approach a haircut, and there is no right or wrong way. Don't let anybody tell you there is. What we do here at Hotheads Media is give you the skills, the tools and the know-how to go out and create these haircuts at home or in the salon. I've taught hundreds if not thousands of students over the years my techniques, and they all come away having their own creative flair and style. So back to the haircut, you can see that we put our 0 line in and now we're flicking up with our 0.5. Making sure whenever we put our lines in, there's no notches and the lines are fluid. This will help with the overall blending of the fade and bringing it all together. As I said previously, while doing each side of the fade or doing it all together at once, the steps are the same. This gives you the building blocks to go and complete a smooth transition, if you remember the steps here in this video today. At the moment, we're just using the foils in a circular motion, not to create any harsh lines. Once this step is completed, we're going to push up on the lever so it's closed on the big clippers, and we're going to reduce our bottom line. We're going to use the same flicking motion as we did on the other side. This will help reduce the harsh line at the bottom and blend seamlessly into the top line. We're making sure here that we take out that bottom line by seamlessly blending before we move on to the next step. This haircut is really coming together now on this side. It's great to see it from this side because it gives you a different perspective, and this side doesn't have the scar, so it looks a lot more seamless. I've now grabbed my trimmers, reducing any lines that were created by the foils, using the flicking motion, also with a circular motion. This technique is for really defining and really refining afro or curly hair. At this moment, because I have the trimmers in my hand, once I've done this step, I'm now going to move to outlining or face framing the front. Again, this is a really important part of the haircut as it really makes the haircut pop or stand out from the front. In all honesty, I do like these JRL trimmers. They probably wouldn't be my most favourite ones that I've got in my set, but they are great. The clipper is the real standout performer here. So as you can see on screen, I've just grabbed my big clipper. I've put a number 1 guard on it. I used it open as I feel this side is a little bit thicker and a little bit longer. Just as a reference, a number 1 open is a 1.5. Closing the lever to a number 1, I'm now just using the corner to reduce any weight or harsh lines. Moving to a 0.5 guard, I'm moving through the clicks on the lever to work on specific areas where there's weight, using the corner if necessary like we did on the other side of the head. Using all these hot techniques shown here in this video will really help you back at home or in the salon create them clean fades you're looking for. Back to a bit of clipper over comb, I'm working with horizontal and vertical clipper over comb technique. This will help reduce the weight further as I feel like the hair is a bit thicker on this side and needs a little bit more detailing. Scissor over comb with the thinners now comes back into play, just to reduce any thicker or darker areas. With the fading completed, we're now going to create some waves on the top of my client's hair. This is an overlooked topic, styling afro hair. We're going to cover it now. Using my jaune from Olivia Garden brush, wetting it down and brushing it forward. Choosing the right product really helps create the waves in the hair. So we're going to use the Insight Elastic Curl, we're going to use the Hair Detangling Milk and the Curls Defining Cream. If you're interested in grabbing these products, you've got to go to the insightprofessional.co.uk website. They have a full range of everything, but the Elastical range is absolutely phenomenal. It's an award-winning afro and curly hair product range. Stay locked in till the end of the video so you can see the final result. These waves come out and they look quality using these Insight products. My drying method here is low heat, low speed, brushing forward with the product in. This really helps accentuate the waves. Look how good these waves and overall style are turning out. Let's move on to lining up the front. We're looking for a natural line with no enhancements. Now what we don't want to do is push too much into the hairline, and as you can see here on the video, we're not going back too far. It's always best to put your first line in, stand backwards, have a look at it and see if it's natural. You don't want to push too far back into the hairline as this will just create problems. Always keeping the hairline at the front fuller, natural and balanced will result in a happier client and a better overall look. This is a method I like to do now at the very end of the haircut to help reduce any strays that are still sticking out of the hair. Now personally, if you feel a little unconfident about doing this, you can put a number 1 guard on or a number 2 and run over the head like that. Alternatively, you can just pick up your scissors and snip away any long hairs that you feel are sticking out. By doing either of these methods will result in a cleaner overall look. And here you have it, a skin fade into a number 3 on top, waves created and a nice natural line at the front. Please like, share and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.